Well, as you can tell, this is going to be a little change up, right? Usually we don't do a lot of lives over here. Actually, I haven't done a live in a long time, right? I think one of the last lives that I've done was it the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight? Yeah, it's been that long, right? We don't do a lot of lives. It was either that or the Inouye and Stephen Fulton fight, whichever one came first. But you get the point. So we're just gonna rap. We're just gonna rap a taste because there's a lot going on. I mean, it's a whole hell of a lot going on, right? And sometimes it's easy to get lost in the sauce. It's easy to be distracted, right? We got so much news coming at us, depending on what you want to call news, Um, for some, for some people, if you have poets, two poets, they put words together and they make them rhyme, right? We get two, and they do it, for money. They sell their works, right? And if they two of those guys don't like each other, for some people that's news, right? Um, for other people, it could be, and it, and by this, and by other people, I mean myself included, right? This is a sports channel for the most part. We talk about sports. So if you get a big fight, and something happens in the fight, um, that would be we consider that news a lot of times, right? But we're here right now. I'm swiping all that shit off the fucking table. I'm just taking my fucking forearm and I'm wiping all that bullshit right off the fucking table, right? Because in actuality, ain't none of that shit news. In actuality, um, none of that is important. None of that is imperative. None of that is paramount, right? You can insert whatever word you want to insert. Shit's not important, right? But then you have this Ryan Garcia thing, right? I know, and I'm not feeding into the world conspiracy level. It's not. It's not important on that level. No, 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 no. It's important on a much more base level, right? Um, it has highlighted a problem, and I said this in other videos. Like, it's good when we have moments like this, but it's only good if we can get the takeaway, right? It's no good if we just if we don't even see the lesson in all of this, right? We don't even see the lesson in all of this. So let's talk about it. Um, as because I've been going in on this motherfucker like left and right, right? Ryan Garcia was he got a big win over Devin Haney, what we thought was a big victory, right? We were ready to give him his props, even though he blew the weight. I really wasn't concerned with that. Why? Because Devin Haney, he's on the bigger end of the spectrum. Like it would kind of be hypocritical for me to get mad about Ryan Garcia blowing the weight. Like he blew the weight, they agreed to fight after he blew the weight. No, I'm not tripping on that, right? So I had no problem with giving that guy his credit. No, no problem. But then it comes out that he pissed hot, right? Then that news comes out. It comes out that he was dirty, right? And the original report is that he had nandrolone and ostarine in his system, right? And that's what we're gonna talk about, and, as well as an IV, an illegal IV, right? All this shit came out, and that sort of changed things, right? That made us kind of look at things in its totality and really judge his quote unquote victory under a much more scrutinizing light, right? Um, I'm not giving him a pat. Like, I know the original report said Nandrolone, and then they come out and say no, it was no Nandrolone. Well, I'm gonna say it was Nandrolone, right? Because if it wasn't, it's like when the referee on a football game. It's like when the referee is throwing that yellow flag and then they pick it up. Like, what the fuck? You saw something. Something made you throw the flag. Something made you throw that flag. Like, I don't understand the picking up of flags. Like, if why the fuck did you throw it? What did you see to make you reach down and throw the flag? Right? Same thing here. Something made Nandrolone pop up on that fucking test, right? And something made it go away. Now, if you know anything about, you know, and I don't claim, I'm not a chemist at all. It's not my profession, but I'm also not an idiot. Now, if you're taking an IV, that could definitely be used to wash away the Nandrolone, right? That's how something could pop up and then not be there, right? But that Ostarine was a problem. He couldn't get rid of it. This video ain't about him cheating. We know he's a cocksucker. He's a liar. Like, we already know that. And I mean, I really think he's a cocksucker. Like, he talks with a lisp still, right? He's a fucking man. Yeah. But this ain't about that. What this is about is the reaction, right? Because we all claim to be boxing fans. We all claim to, love the sport and calling these guys warriors and, all that shit for the sport, right? We were willing to do that. But this ain't even Canelo. If it's Canelo, look, I won't say I agree. I definitely don't, because I don't like him either, right? But I will understand more. Canelo has actually accomplished things in the sport. You know what I mean? Canelo, like, even as we sit now, I don't like the way he's doing it, but he is the undisputed champion. He fought champions and became an undisputed champion. Like, here's a body of work. He fought Mayweather. He's got the fights, right? He's got somewhat of a resume, right? He's got a couple victories over Triple G. So it's only so much we can do with him. Now, we don't like the way Canelo's moving these days. But Ryan Garcia, the reaction to Ryan Garcia, someone who's proven nothing in the sport, absolutely nothing. He's done nothing in the sport, right? But we got all these quote unquote boxing fans, right? All these boxing fans. And the first thing they do is defend this guy. And I'm going to address him. I'm going to address them all. Maybe not individually, but we're going to touch on a few. We're going to touch a few, right? We're going to touch a few chins in this video. Right? We're going to test some jaws out in this video. Pause. So I always stand on the square of, look, we got to clean up our own house before we talk about anybody else. Right? I've always been that guy. Hey, look, I'm a Marine, okay? There's no such thing as ex-Marine, once Marine, always Marine. So I'm a fucking Marine, right? And it's just a certain way we go about things, It's nothing special. It's not any type of rocket science. It's not magic. But it's just basic shit. You got to clean up your own shit before you can think about approaching somebody else. That has to happen. Right? Imagine, I made this analogy before, but I'm sure this ain't the biggest channel, so a lot of new subscribers and everything, and we're still growing. So peep this. You are a general, right? Hypothetically, you are a general, and you have a group of, let's say, 100 guys, 100 men, right? 100 men. You hire these guys. That's your fighting force. Okay? Now imagine this. Your fighting force is in bad shape. Your fighting force, they are out here, they're out here backstabbing each other, right? They're constantly fighting each other. They're constantly selling each other out, right? They sell each other out over a couple bucks. You know, they're constantly trying to fuck each other's wives and girlfriends. They're constantly drunk. They're constantly high. But this is your fighting force, right? This is your fighting force. They're constantly, basically living a degenerate lifestyle. They are now your fighting force. You're starting to see some of your men wearing purses, right? You're starting to see them starting to wear fingernail polish. Guys in your army are doing this, right? What the fuck kind of sense does it make to take that group into war with anybody? Can you do that? Like, would you do that? No, you wouldn't, unless you want to get wiped the fuck out, right? That's not what you do. What you need to do is either clean house on some destroy and rebuild type shit, or what you want to do is get these guys into shape with some tough love, right? Because that's the only thing that's going to get it there. Like, how do you stop all the things I named? How do you get people off of drugs and alcohol? How do you get people to uh, use some morals, right? Have some morals. Have a little dignity, right? Have a little backbone. Stop selling each other. Like, it's a heavy fucking lift. It's a heavy lift. But I'm sure none of you guys would disagree that that lift needs to happen before you think about busting one shot at anybody. You look crazy. You look crazy trying to go to war with another fighting force who's on top of their shit. They guys are in shape. They guys, they take marksmanship seriously. They have skills. They know how to fight. They have discipline. They're not fucking each other's wives. They're clean. They're not on alcohol and drugs. Right? You're gonna fight them with your little ragtag fucking group. Right? Exactly. It's suicide. On a smaller scale, what do you look like trying to criticize someone else's household when your kids are running wild? Your kids are terrorizing the neighborhood, right? Your kids are going crazy, looking bad and making you look bad, bringing dishonor to you. You can't address nobody else's house. You got to address yours. So I'm saying all that to say, when I see a motherfucker like Tank Davis come out and say, oh, they just going at the run because he, like, we got to identify that, man. And that's not, like, all that shit don't cut it no more. See, all that's that old jigaboo, that old minstrel show, right? That's that old minstrel show where everybody just accepts this shit. And we can't do that. Like, things are hitting home. And don't worry, you will get it soon. And you're gonna get it in this conversation. Before I get off this fucking live, you're gonna understand what's going on. Right? You're going to. So here's the thing. When motherfuckers like Tank Davis, people that's in our house, right? Quote unquote. People that are in our fighting force, supposedly, when they come out and defend one of ours, clearly getting cheated, right? And he comes out and says, yeah, we're going to celebrate our victory. That should enrage you. That should, I don't care if you're the biggest Tank Davis fan in the world. I don't give a fuck. Certain things should be like, wait a minute, hold up. Skirt. What the fuck? What? Something gotta mean something. when Rougarou Regis Prograis comes out and and I mean hilarious. Like I'm really disappointed. I didn't know he was that guy. I didn't know he was this type of motherfucker. But we all saw the Devin Haney Regis fight, right? We saw that fight, and he looked like absolute shit. He couldn't scratch Devin Haney in that fight. But he takes an opportunity to complain about some rehydration shit months later after Devin Haney takes a loss to another motherfucker. Like certain things we gotta see and be like, we don't even have to make a bunch of noise. It should be ingrained in us. Because I'm gonna tell you, this is how other coaches operate. They don't have to get together. Now, don't get me wrong. There's certain things they do have to get together and talk about. It's certain things that happen on the edges of their culture, and they address it and they do that. But for the most part, they know what's right and what's wrong in them, and they ain't gonna go against their own. You ain't gonna get them to go against their own, right? And if they do go against their own, they're gonna do it, but it ain't gonna be because you said anything. You ain't gonna convince them to do shit against their own people, right? So when you see Clarissa Shields and all these and Keyshawn Davis, he was like one of the worst. Like he really actually said, "Oh man, you want to do that because of some PEDs?" It's like, yeah, now we gotta cut these people off, man. There's some things it just can't be no coming back from. It can't. Now, when I say it can't, I mean I'm thinking about it the same way God thinks about us, right? As long as we keep on a certain path, like say we're on a path of a degenerate, we out here robbing, killing, shooting, like the Most High can't walk with us. The day we repent and don't do that shit no more and walk away from that lifestyle, the Most High is benevolent. He will come back and lay out a path for you to walk with him again. But he's not going to. That's why it really boils my fucking piss when people say, well, my sins are forgiven. I believe in Jesus. My sins are already forgiven, but they still doing the same fuck shit. That's not how it works, buddy. That's absolutely not how it works. But let's keep it moving. We gotta see this shit, right? It's a bunch of people, bunch of men who don't stand on code. They talk about it, talk about standing on business, but they have no idea what it means. They have no idea what it means. Like the window for our people is way too fucking small. Honestly, the window for us to get along with each other it's like we got to agree on damn near everything. Right? I'm gonna lay it out there right now. Guess what? I'm conservative. Why am I conservative? Because I'm an Israelite. It ain't no way to be a liberal Israelite. It ain't no way to live according to the Bible and be liberal. You just can't do it. No matter, I don't give a fuck what you think. If you're living by the Bible, right? Hey, you can, whether you believe in the Bible, don't believe in it, that's not the point. The point is, if you live according to the Bible, you cannot be liberal. Impossible. Right? But for our people, it's like, that's a deal breaker. It's like we have to be 100% in lockstep with each other in order to do business. We got to be 100% in lockstep with each other just to not be, think about this, just to not be disrespectful. If you're not 100% in lock, this is the typical thinking of your average nigga out here. If they not 100% in agreement and lockstep with you, it's fuck you. It's you can be disrespected at any time. That's the definition of self-hatred. And I'm saying that because why? Because I've been around the fucking world. I know how other cultures operate, and it ain't like that. Other cultures allow freedom of intellectual thought. They know it adds to the balance of the pool. They know that. They know that. So you won't see people now. Don't get me wrong. They have their moments. They have their moments where they battle it out in their parliaments, in their Congress, in their court, whatever you want to call it. They have their moments where they do butt heads. You have to do that, but it's not just oh he oh you. I mean, think about it. It's with us. It's so fucking. It's disgusting. I'm a LeBron fan. You a Kobe fan. Fuck you. You bitch ass nigga. You. I like Devin Haney. I like Tank Davis. Man, fuck you. You a bitch ass nigga. You don't know shit about boxing. It's like it's so easy for the disrespect to come flying out. A, that's feminine as fuck. It's emotional. And of course we know it's stupid, right? We already know that. Like, how can you build anything like that? Like, as men, we should be looking for points of agreement. Points of agreement. How can we build something? How can we make somebody? But see, motherfuckers don't know how to build nothing. That's a big fucking problem. Motherfuckers have no desire to build shit. Let me look at these comments, man. Hey, shout out to In Conquest 2, man. Shout out to D1L87. I appreciate you brothers for being here, man. But you feel me though. Like, we don't look for points of contention. All we do is we look for disagreement. We look and search for disagreements. That's whole shit. That's whole shit. And that's not what we supposed to be doing. Like, if you look, I love my father to death. Love him to death, right? But it's things that we disagree on. It don't mean I don't like him. It don't mean we disagree. It don't mean I'm just going like, so why would I be like that with my brother? Yes, I practice tough love because at the end of the day, tough love is love. Tough love is love. Right? Let me check some of these comments, man. In Conquest 2 says, I was always the dude that helped person who was scared to read in class. Exactly. That type of shit. But guess what? Most people ain't like that. Most of these kids out here have a bully mentality. Not only will they, and shout out to you for doing that, man. Shout out to you. That's a feather in your cap to your character as a kid, right? I'm assuming you talking about when you was a kid, right? So most of these kids have a bully mentality. Not only will they not help, they will target the one who does. Oh, you think you that's that Tank Davis mentality. That's why I go so hard on motherfuckers like that. See, people talk about pro-black and all that, and I never claim to be pro-black. I'm pro-truth. I'm pro-God, right? I'm pro, so I don't have to single out black, right? I'm gonna take care of my fellow neighbor. Period. Point blank in the story. You know what I mean? But we're gonna dig, and I hope you brothers can stay with me. I'm gonna try not to bore you, but to me, this shit ain't boring to me. I love talking culture. I don't do it a lot on this channel, but I love this is my wheelhouse right here. I talk sports to kind of break up the medicine. You know, sometimes you got to chop up that medicine and put it in the food, so to speak. You know what I mean? That's the only reason why I talk sports. And I like sports, right? I love it. But yeah, man, like let me catch D1L87. I don't know why Regis is crying about the guy was 156 on fight night for Devin. So you're middleweight too, bro. So what's the exactly? Look, I could see if he was I could see if he was teeing off on Devin Haney in the fight, right? And it's like Devin Haney was just shrugging off his punches. Then I wouldn't agree, but it's like it would make sense that you complaining about the rehydration, right? But you couldn't lay a finger on that guy. You couldn't touch him. Like, what are you talking about, man? And he was bigger. He was bigger and still being elusive with you. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, that means you could fight him 10 more times and you ain't gonna win. You know what I'm saying? But let me cook a little bit real quick. So um we got to clean up our own house, right? And when we see this thing, when we see these people act out like this, when we see a guy like Showbiz the adult, right? And if you think this hating, it's not. I promise you. I don't. These brothers don't have nothing that I want. Their whole job is YouTube. That's not the case for me. I'm gonna just leave it there. Like YouTube, I come here, it's more therapeutic. I love to talk about this shit. Period. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for passive income. So if this shit can develop into something that's monetized, cool. I'm not gonna send the check back. I'm just saying that's not what I'm here for. As you can tell, like it's a way that I could really be talking and be like, oh, the music you don't, and make a whole bunch of people like me and want to laugh and all that non-threatening bullshit. I could do that. Actually, I can't do that, but I could do that. You know what I mean? I'm not here to be fake. You know, my point is when we see this shit with our own people, it needs to be either internal or external, but either way, we got to cut these people off, man. And the reason why is because of my next point. So now I'm going to get out of our house, and I'm going to jump into these Mexicans' house, right? We're going to jump head first into their shit. You know what I'm saying? Now we're going to address them. And I'm going to show you why being Mr. Nice Guy is not necessarily the play. Being Mr. Nice Guy is not even a requirement from the Most High. He never said you got to be nice. That's not a commandment. There's no commandment to be nice. You know what you're supposed to be? Righteous. You're supposed to take care of you're supposed to take care of these children. You're supposed to defend the defenseless. You're supposed to defend women, especially the ones who know that they're women and ain't trying to be dudes. Women who are women, right? You're supposed to defend the elderly. You're supposed to speak up for God, right? You ain't necessarily supposed to be nice because, see, I can't name a prophet in the Bible that I would classify as a nice guy. I can't think of one. I can't think of not one, right? But I can think of a bunch of good ones. You see the difference? You can be a good man without being some sucker. Actually, that's a requirement of the Most High. A requirement of the Most High. You're supposed to be good. And guess what? The only way to be good is to have that hard edge. That's the only way. You can't protect nobody being a pushover. And if you're a pushover, you ain't no good to the Most High. This shit is mathematics. Everything fit together. Now, let's get back to Mr. Nice Guy and the concept of that. See, we accept people way too fucking easily into our midst, right? Because we know what we've been through, and it's like, oh, Lord forbid we put somebody else through that, right? And I get that. End of the day, I know we don't like to think of ourselves like this, but we're very, 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 we're very peaceful people, right? A lot of the tough guy shit you see out here, these fake thugs and all that, it's an act. It's overcompensation. It's very it's a lot of overcompensation there. None of these, very few of these motherfuckers are tough. You know who was tough? Uncle Tom. Go read Uncle Tom. Read it. I hate when people use that reference, man, and to describe some weak motherfucker who's always like, yes, boss. No, that's not Uncle Tom. I challenge you to read that book and read what that guy was really about. Right? Like they would have you think Uncle Tom is like, so busy. That no. That's not how Uncle Tom was. That's not that's nah. Uncle Tom was a man's man. He put up with a lot of shit and protected a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? But I know why they try to flip that script and change that. We got to do our own research. But let me not get off topic. We accept too many people in way too easy. You know, I remember, I don't know how old you guys are, but I remember when Bill Clinton was running for president, right? I remember when Bill Clinton ran for president, and you know what? All he had to do to get niggas on his side, you know what he did? He went on the Arsenio Hall show, which was a late night talk show, right? With host Arsenio Hall. He had these long ass fingers, and he'd be like, root, 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 root. He'd be doing a little, what's that little thing? Where you do the thing with pumping his fists and shit, like root, root, root. Then he'd point to the crowd, long ass fucking fingers and shit, smiling and shit. Fucking, yeah, Arsenio Hall, right? He goes on to the Arsenio Hall show, and yeah, it's like Scooby-Doo. He goes on the Arsenio Hall show and plays the saxophone, right? Bill Clinton running for president, all he had to do to get black people to vote for him, he went on the Arsenio Hall show and started playing the saxophone, playing a little bit of jazz on his saxophone. And you know what black people said? Oh, he black. He like one of us. I swear that's what happened. If you don't remember, if you was too young, ask your parents. Ask your uncle, your aunt, your mom, dad. Ask somebody about that. That's all he had to do. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. That shit, bruh. I hate that shit, man. All a motherfucker gotta do is play the saxophone. And they one of us. You fucking kidding me? You know how disrespectful that is? That's why people don't respect you. It's because of how it's the things we do. It ain't necessarily, look, if you going at the girl, right? If you trying to get her and like she just don't have no respect for herself. And you see that, right? She just wears anything. She come out the house looking any old kind of way. Right? You're gonna take her to a nice restaurant, right? That's what you're gonna do? No. Like, you gotta be to get respect. You gotta be respectable. People see how easy we let them in. That's not respectable. Why would they respect you? They got no reason to respect you. It's the same fucking thing. We gotta be a little bit. Forgive me. We gotta be a little bit meaner. We got to be a little bit. Did the live stop? I don't know what happened, but hopefully we good. But we gotta have a little bit more of a standard, man, a higher standard. It can't just be, oh, you play the saxophone. It can't just be, oh, Eminem, yeah, he rap, he got bars, yeah, he one of us, right? It can't just be, oh, he know the slang, he know how to dress, he's one of us. Nah. That's why we not getting the respect. That's why these motherfuckers talking crazy. Back to Ryan Garcia. Wow. Thanks for that. I appreciate you letting me know that D1L87. Thanks for letting me know that you was 5 years old when Bill Clinton ran for president. I appreciate that, bro. I really, really needed that. 5 word. That's what's up. So yeah, just check your big bro out, man. No, but like we can't just we gotta stop this. So we let these people in. They smuggle themselves into the country illegally, right? They sneak into the country illegally, our country. And yes, it is our country. I know you've been taught to hate the flag and hate America, but guess what? When you do that, that's also disrespectful to the Most High. You know why? Because He put you here. Like you could have been anywhere. You know how many fucked up countries it is with no rights, no constitution, no right to bear arms, right? Communists. That mean they, soon as you're born, the government is telling you what your job is. You know how many countries are like that? The Most High put you here, where you got freedom. It's not perfect, but name me a perfect country. Name me a country with a perfect past. Name me a country who has no slavery in their history. Name me one. Name one country that doesn't have some form of slavery in their history. How about this? We were slave owners. It's okay. It happens. It happens. We've been slave owners before. So fuck all of that. You've been taught to hate this place, but this is your fucking home. This is your home. And this ain't no Marine talk. I mean, that's the cherry on top for me. But no, even if I wasn't a Marine, this is where the Most High put you. Where else you gonna go? Where would you rather be? In Europe somewhere, they can't even get guns. That means as soon as the government hit the switch on them, boom. They what defense do they have? Nothing. If NATO come through there, there's nothing they can do. It's a reason why NATO can't come through here. If we didn't have weapons, this place would have been gone, taken over. But we have rights, and people know it. They know it's going to be bloody as hell if you try to come up in here, right? Every time they get close, look at the weapon sales skyrocket. Like, people who know in this country, we're not playing. We're not playing with these motherfuckers, right? So you let all these people in. And when you let these people cross the border, guess what? They're not running to Beverly Hills. They're not running to the Hamptons, right? They're not doing that. They're not running to where these super wealthy people are. They're not doing that. Guess where they running? To your neck of the woods. And by you, I'm being like real general. I don't know where you guys live, right? Us. They run into where our people are. They run into where the most marginalized, already fucked up neighborhoods, right? Where people already don't have enough resources. They go in there to usurp them. Exactly. Like, that's not okay. But we allow it. We make these people feel so comfortable, right? We make them feel so fucking comfortable. And what do we get in return? In return for making them feel comfortable, you know what we get? I get motherfuckers in my comments talking about, yeah, we taking over, ese. Yeah, yeah, we taking over. They really think that. That's how they, like, I don't have a racist bone in my body. Well, actually I do, but it's not like prejudice. I mean, the Most High wants, the Most High never said, I want everybody to join together. I want all countries to mix together and like into one big beige race. That's not what he wants. He wants us to be us. He want us to separate from everybody because we holy and set apart. We the ones that's gonna fix this shit. We the ones that fix things everywhere we go. That's the whole reason for the hip hop, and they gotta feed you a certain image to convince you that you're not a priest of the Most High. You're a fucking priest of the Most High. You
You are a priest of the Most High. That's but they can't tell you that. That's why they gotta feed you Lil Wayne. And I ain't trying to pick on him, but like, you know what I mean. They gotta feed you the degeneracy. Dudes wearing purses and all that. Everything that comes with it. You know what it is. Because they know who you are, but we don't. So we let these people come in, and the first thing, yeah, nigga, saying nigga with the R. Yeah, nigga, we over here. And this is the people coming across the border doing this. Not the white man. This the people coming across the border with this. Everybody has some ugly shit in their past, like I said. So I'm not here to cape for the white man. I'm not here to cape for the black man. I ain't here to cape for nobody. If I'm putting on a cape, it's for the Most High. But guess what? That white man wrote the Constitution. And whether he had niggas in mind when he wrote it or not, the beauty of it, and this is how you know it's from God. That Constitution still protects you today. Even if they wasn't the so-called forefathers, the founding fathers, even if they wasn't thinking about you, the Most High used them to bring about what was best for you. He used them to do that. It don't matter what was in their heart. Right? But now we over here getting invaded by motherfuckers who have no respect. No respect for nothing. They don't have respect for the country. They don't have respect for you. They don't have respect for nobody. They just here to use and to pillage and to cheat and be corrupt and brag about it. And that's why they act in the way they do. So it's nothing for them. Like, we looking at them like, wait, I thought y'all were boxing fans. And now you see the mask is off. The mask is off. Now they in everybody's comments talking about how they taking over. Yeah, we take over. We this and we that. And most of them, like, you see how most of these motherfuckers can't fight. Most of them are like physically inferior to the next man. Like, but they talk all this shit. Right? It's because of us. We gotta kind of tighten up. And it's like we are so scared and squeamish about being called racist. D1L87 says, hey, Tank says it's a satchel and not a purse. It's a pink satchel. Okay, let's go with that. A satchel. Look, man. I mean, all right. And here's the thing about that. That ain't even. I'm from Baltimore, and like that ain't even. I don't know what that is, bro. People don't do that. That's not even a Baltimore thing for real. You know what I mean, but that's very very interesting. That his fans is like, these guys, they can do no wrong. Like, once I see you, look, Terrence Crawford, probably my favorite fighter right now. One of my favorite fighters ever. Right? Terrence Crawford is definitely one of my favorite fighters ever. He's up there. He's really high up there. Guess what? If I see this nigga wearing a purse, I'm out. Like, I can't go to hell with you. I'm not leaving. Like, you cool, but like, I'm not. I got a standard for myself, right? And it's certain things. Same thing with Deontay Wilder. It's like, are you cool? I ain't really mad at you. Like, not my cup of tea as far as like his fighting style. But once you start twerking like that, I'm good, bro. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But that's because, see, when you out here, and you have God in your life, You ain't about to attach yourself to no man, especially no man that you don't know. I don't even care if you do know him. It's just not something you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things the Most High is gonna require, and it's like you don't just follow anybody off the cliff like that. So we see the difference now. Hopefully, we see these people, right? And there's no coming back from this. Like it can't be them, let this die down. Because Ryan Garcia, he's gonna get suspended. He'll get suspended. Now I'm not sure the length of it. I have my suspicion that it's not gonna be as long as it should be. Right? I have a feeling it's not gonna be as long as it should be. Why? Because he unfortunately is a moneymaker. Right? He generates a lot of money, and people are gonna want some of that money, especially now that he made all this fucking noise. That's why he's trying to make this thing as messy as possible, right? He's really he's playing a certain set of cards. I will say that he's playing a certain set of cards, and long run, I don't think it'll work out for him, but in the short run, it may. It may. But we see these people and they come out and it doesn't matter that, nothing he says matters. Right? You see them, they always crossing their chest with the little the imaginary rosary thing that they do. Whatever the fuck. I'm not Catholic, so I'm not into that. I mean, yeah. I'm not a Catholic boy lover, so I don't know their thing. I know what I see. Them kissing the rosary and all that old trinket bullshit that they do. Like, they do all of that stuff, but when it come down to it, look what they support. Right? Look what they support. So, yeah, I mean, I really mean the things that I'm saying. And this shit is a lot deeper than people are willing to admit. This is not just this is the beginning throes of a culture war. And it could spill over into an actual war. It really could. It really could, because things are really at stake. Things are really at stake. I don't care what you call yourself, Democrat, Republican. I don't have a problem telling people I'm a registered independent. I've been registered independent since 2008. Right? I have my reasons. I don't have a problem telling people that. I'm a registered independent. That means each and every election, the best candidate is going to have to earn my vote. That's just the type of person I am. Right? I'm on the fence until you prove who you are. Right? You got to earn my vote. I'm not in the tank for nobody. I'm not in nobody's back pocket. When you prove it, you get my vote. No matter who it is. No matter who it is. So I have no problem doing that. But most of our people ain't like that. And that shit has hurt us. Look at the country. We've been voting for people who open the floodgates. They open the floodgates to whose neighborhood? Our neighborhoods. They open the floodgates of invasion to our neighborhoods. Not to theirs. And we keep voting for these motherfuckers. So we can continue to vote by our emotions and say, oh, he's an asshole. And look, the guy is kind of an asshole. And you know who I'm talking about. Orange Man is kind of an asshole, right? But guess who else is kind of an asshole? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, right? Elon Musk. Who you want to name? Like successful men, especially men who are successful in business, you better be a fucking asshole. It goes back to that nice thing. You want to be nice or you want to be strong? See, if you're strong, you can help as many people as you want. If you're strong, you can be as good as you want. Or you can be nice. Your choice. Your choice. It ain't like to be successful, you gotta have that. Yes, Orange Man is kind of an asshole. Bill Belichick is an asshole. Bill Parcells was an asshole. Barry Bonds. Show me somebody who's at the top. Kanye West. Show me somebody who's at the top of the industry who's not. Prince. Wynton Marsalis. Michael Jackson was an asshole. And you better believe Michael Jackson was a fucking asshole, dude. You better believe that shit. Don't think he's the guy you just like Michael Jackson. You heard, I'm sure y'all heard about what he did to Eminem. When Eminem made that, call himself making that diss record, he like, oh yeah? Really? Okay, cool. Cop this masters. Asshole move. But guess what? Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta do that. And I'm here to tell you, you're free to do that. If nobody told you that before, I'm telling you now. You are free to do that. Why is this motherfucker calling me now? Like, the fuck? Anyway. Like, niggas is weird, bro. The fuck? You ever got a call from a motherfucker that you ain't talked to in years and shit? Like, I mean, you cool and all that, but like, nah, bro, like, the fuck out of here. And then I'm cooking too. Anyway, yeah, you got to be able to go to that place, man. Really, it should be there. I kind of stay in that place. I don't mind staying there. Because once you get relaxed, that's when motherfuckers start testing you and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, nah. And no, put it like this. You ever heard the saying, speak softly but carry a big stick? That's it. That's it. Ryan calling the street. I tell you what though, I have been getting some weird calls from like private numbers, but I never answer. I just don't answer, right? I know how weird this shit is. Like once you start, cause I've been really getting at them. Like on Twitter, I send them like, I send him my videos directly. I want him to see me roasting him, his family. I don't give a fuck about none of that. That's just, see, once it get to that disrespectful place, I real like, and you go low, I'm gonna go to hell. In the words of Shannon Sharp, right? But yeah, man, it's not about being Mr. Nice Guy. In order for us to win, we have to tighten up. Right? We got to tighten our fighting force up and really take it seriously. Because we can kick that other army's ass. Because we're God's chosen. But he ain't gonna do it while we in this condition. You can forget that. We got to show and prove, and it don't take much. The good thing is I'm starting to see guys wake up, right? And it's events like this Ryan Garcia thing, that's really waking a lot of people up because we see how these people really feel about us. You know what I'm saying? If they feel like that about him, they feel like that about you. They feel like that about me. You best believe that. You could replace Devin Haney with Shakur Stevenson, and if that had happened to him, they would react the exact same way. The exact same way. And Shakur Stevenson, see, he knows that. Now he knows that. So these fucking these bootlickers, it's cool. We don't want them on our side. I don't want to stand with a guy like Tank Davis. I wouldn't stand with a motherfucker like Tank Davis. I won't stand with a motherfucker like Keyshawn Davis, Regis Prograis, Showbiz the Adult, right? Punch Drunk, whatever the fuck his name is. Like, I won't stand with, because they are bend over the table niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, Punch Drunk, he's whatever he is, Puerto Rican, whatever. Fine, but you ain't Mexican. So you wanna, it's like, cool. That's cool. Just stay the fuck over there. And I'm sure he's willing to do that. But you're gonna have to. You don't have a choice but to stay over there because there's no coming back over here. And that's how we gotta be. Anyway, if you like the video, bang off on that like button one time. Cheers.